Have you ever had that feeling where the Spanish you learned in a classroom just doesn't quite click with the Spanish you hear in the real world? Well, today, we're going to explore a totally different way of thinking about it, one that gets you out from behind the desk and right into the heart of the culture.
So, does this sound familiar? You've got the grammar down, you've memorized all the verb charts, you know your sed from your istad, but the second a native speaker says, hola, your brain just goes blank. It's an incredibly common, and let's be honest, frustrating feeling for so many adult learners. And that's exactly the problem we're going to tackle today.
And this quote, it really gets to the heart of it all. I mean, think about it for a second. When you're trying to order some amazing street tacos, or ask for directions, or just share a laugh with someone, nobody is grading your use of the subjunctive tense. They're just connecting with you. The real goal here isn't to be perfect, it's to actually communicate.
Okay, so to get there, we really need a major shift in how we approach this whole thing. It's about swapping that fear of making a mistake for the courage to just try, to have a real conversation. This is step one, and honestly, it's the most important one. Adopting a brand new philosophy for how you learn.
This table breaks it down perfectly. It's like two different universes of language learning. You've got the traditional path over here, all about chasing perfection, running endless grammar drills, which, usually leads to a fear of messing up. But then you've got the immersion approach. This is all about building confidence through real interactions, where mistakes, they're not failures, they're milestones, they're proof you're trying. In this world, books aren't just teachers of grammar. They're your tools for diving deep into a new culture.
I absolutely love this analogy. How many of us have told ourselves, I'm just not a language person? It's kind of like saying a bee shouldn't be able to fly. It's just a limit we've put on ourselves. But the bee doesn't know it's not supposed to fly, so it just does. The moment you start trying, the moment you start moving, that thing you thought was impossible, it becomes totally possible. It's all about defying those limits you've set for yourself.
So, you might be asking, okay, this new philosophy sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Right. This brings us to the actual framework, the game plan for making it all happen. It's a method designed for the way our adult minds work when we want to do more than just study.
And that method is called DILO, which stands for Dual Immersion Language Options. Now, the magic words here are real-life situations. This is not about role-playing in a classroom. It's about getting your hands dirty, It's about actively using Spanish while you're exploring food, art, music, travel. You're not just studying the language, you are actually living it.
This whole approach really stands on four key pillars. First, it's all about context. You learn Spanish by actually using it to do things in the real world. From there, you focus on practical skills you're actually going to need. And what's cool is, when you do that, the grammar starts to click into place naturally, kind of like how you learned your first language as a kid. And finally, it's adaptive. It's designed to fit into the crazy busy schedules we all have as adults.
So what does living the language actually feel like? Well, imagine learning Spanish not by staring at a textbook, but by rolling tortillas with a family in their home. Or how about finally watching a movie and getting it without subtitles? Or, and this is my personal favorite, having the confidence to navigate a new city in Mexico or Spain like you belong there, not just like a tourist passing through. These are the real flavors of the language.
All right, let's make this even more real. What does this method actually look like in practice? Let's take a quick virtual trip, an expedition, to see how all these pieces come together out in the wild.
Our destination is a place called Casas Grandes in Chihuahua, Mexico. It's an official Pueblo Mágico, which means magical town, and for good reason. It's this incredible crossroads of ancient history, vibrant living art, and just these stunning desert landscapes. It's the perfect setting for a classroom without any walls.
So, our first stop on this immersion journey is Paquimé, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Just picture yourself walking through this incredible maze of ancient adobe walls, a city that thrived centuries ago, using your Spanish to talk about the history of it all. This is learning through pure discovery.
From that ancient history, we then jump to the present day to see living art in the village of Mata Ortiz. And here, you're not just a spectator. No way. You're actually talking with local artists, asking them in Spanish about their techniques, their inspiration, maybe even buying a beautiful piece of pottery directly from the hands that made it.
And finally, we'd add a little adventure. You journey up into the Sierra Madre Mountains to a place called Cueva de la Olla, or Cave of the Pot. And there, tucked away inside a cliff, you'd see this enormous, perfectly preserved ancient granary.
It's a total mystery. Let me tell you, this isn't a school field trip. This is a real expedition.
So, if you put it all together, you can see how a schedule like this works. It's a packed, dynamic 2-day experience. Day 1 is all about ancient history and culture, and then Day 2 is adventure in the mountains and meeting these amazing local artisans. Every single piece of this itinerary is an opportunity to use your Spanish in a way that's meaningful and, frankly, unforgettable.
And that brings us to the big takeaway, the whole point we've been building towards. The real journey to fluency, it isn't found in a textbook. It's found out there in the world, in real moments, and in real human conversations.
This says it all, doesn't it? It's both a challenge and an invitation. It's time to move beyond thinking of yourself as a student and start embracing your identity as a communicator. Start using the language to build memories, not just to pass some test. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. If you really, truly let go of that fear of saying something wrong or not being perfect, what conversations would you start? What connections could you make? What would you finally be able to say?